All right, Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Let's get this turned on. Going over to the, where is it at? The chat line. There you go. Yo, Janos. Yo, Robin. How about spying NVDA into daily sells? Yeah. Let's put up the new beta. I'm going to show you the new beta. Let's see. We'll go like that. Bring that like that. Minimize this like that. And let's see if we can get the new beta up on there. Let's see. There it is. There we go. All right, let's get the new beta up there. And let's look at, was you said NVDA. Oh yeah, and SPY. Well, there is, let's see, there's NVDA. Here it comes. Let's put that on there. It really tried to go in and out. It was really impressive. You know, just constantly trying to go in and out. Lots of green dots and so forth. But you can see the last 2 days in a sell right here. That is, that's Friday. And that is Monday. And when they start ticking, right there is, what is that? That is Monday. So when it starts ticking, we'll see it. Look at some of the things it can do now. You can go like that. You can move things around a little bit in there. Kind of interesting. You see the weekly's trying to go into a sell now. That's the one that caught my eye. The weekly in NVDA is trying to go into a sell. And then, let's see. Let's go over to, let's see. Where is it at? Let's go to products. And then SPY. There it comes. I give it a refresh. And there is the SPY. SPY, same way. Went into this. Did it go into this? It went into the sell on Friday. And Monday went into the sell. Us is in the sell. And at the same time, you can see the weekly is starting to really dip down. Let's see if I can move that up like that. It's just pressing down at this point. Over on the other platform, let's show you the other platform. Where is it at? And we could actually make that the whole page there like that. There we are. And as you can see there, and that's the new platform. And you have the power to change the colors of the backgrounds and so forth on this one. And then I go back over to here. Well, let's go find right there. There is SPY. We'll go to reverse direction this time. See, SPY is good. Well, it's starting off again today. There's trading live there, so it's pressing down. The weekly is not dropped as much as it has on the beta, so we'll see how that starts to play itself out. That should be very interesting. Yeah, there's a little pressure in the market. Everybody's starting to believe we should see. You know, there's a lot of hope for a retracement, 5 to 10%. But here, let me just point out something to you for the last couple of days. I meant to mention it yesterday, but we got involved in other things. This is the 30-year Treasury bond. I mean, you can see it in the currencies, how the currency pairs are trying to lift, especially Swiss, which is a little surprising. But let's just put it up on there. There it is right there. Here is the 30-year Treasury bond. Look at that, the last 2 days. That was Friday. That's Monday. Now they're trying to perk it a little bit today. It's a little bit above where it closed yesterday. But they've really put the pressure on this product. Went into the sell back in here. Where is that? Like right there. So it started to go into the sell. And I'm not sure if it was that a sell too. That was not a sell. Oh, yeah, wait a minute. -2 and -1. Yeah, that's a sell. So the sell really started off right there. And you can see that pressure. That's kind of interesting. I mean, that's the front month contract. That's not like some type of back month action. And so interest rates have made a nice pop on the upside, which when we go over to the currencies, like right here, currency pairs, there's the cable. The cable's kind of drifting. It got into the buy yesterday on that, and now it's trying to go back into the sell, but at the same time, it's higher than the close of yesterday. Still in the weekly sell. Same thing with the euro, doing the same type of action. Now this one's actually closed in the buy. I guess it was that on Friday, right there, and then it popped on Monday, and now it's trying to back off. But that's also in a weekly sell. So these two normally react much faster on U.S. interest rate shift, but we're not really seeing these two really react. They're kind of flattening out. Then you turn around, and also Powell is speaking, I believe, in the next hour or half hour in Spain. He's going to be speaking in Spain, and so who knows what goofy things he's going to come up with that might pop the currencies over there and knock the stock down knock the interest rates here. I'm not sure. But then when we go to, say, the Swiss, and I really trust the caliber of what it's trying to tell us usually. You can see here we went into the daily buy, and it keeps on climbing. And I was confused why it's doing that. One thing for them to drop their rates, but I guess our rates rising at the same time is putting a pressure on it, and you can see it right there. We're starting to flirt with a weekly buy, which is a little surprising because it seemed like they had it pretty well stabilized. And again, this is very small action. This is not exactly big, deep action. So it's not like it's like, oh my goodness, they're smacking it all over the place or, something of that nature. It's not really happening that bad. It's just that it is lifting back up, combined with them lowering their interest rate and interest rates in the States lifting at the same time. Very curious. So, yep, that is the action we see. And I see what you're saying, Giannis. Stock market is really trying to just meander back and forth sideways more than it's doing anything else. Now you can see we've been playing an off and on. Let me go over to the intraday for the stock market, and you can see the last couple days. Let's make this big like that. This is an intraday chart from the last couple days. You can see it's been kind of sideways up, and it just kept on playing in the 35-40 area, and then it backed off down to the 05. Now we challenged the 05 again this morning, and they're bouncing off of it. I don't see a lot of damage going on at the moment. The hope for 10% retracement seems to be slim to me. I'd be very surprised to see a 10% drop unless there was some really bad news come out, that type of thing. And then when we look at the S&P 500 itself, right there, you can see it's tight. It's up here. Maybe it will come down, and could it drop 110 points? Possibly. It could start to play in this area, 100, like 90, 80 points, something like that. It's 3 days in a sell. And then when you look at the SPY again, right here, you see here that it's trying to roll over, but our weekly is still kind of high. Now over on the beta, I think I have the SPY still up on there. That's the SPY there, yeah. And so on the beta, it's trying to break its way down. This is yesterday's close. It won't start until New York Stock Exchange time. But you can see here 2 days, Friday and Monday in a sell. And you can see the weekly is trying to back off. So there is some pressure there. All right. Where do we go from here? I guess what we should look at is the Amazon. In some ways, I was thinking about Amazon solely because Giannis had mentioned it yesterday, and there's a real strong feeling that there's some strength in Amazon in particular. NVDA, they're always going to be nibbling. It's a real tough product to sell. Let's see if we can find Amazon. Yeah, it's a very tough product to sell. Whereas NVDA, they all they want to do is buy it, and so it's really hard for sellers to do anything more than just take profits. And there's Tesla. Tesla's definitely showing signs of lower. Now there is that's interesting. I'm making it bigger so you can see. like that. You can see Amazon is above yesterday's close. It's got a red and a green going on, but you can see the algorithm is trying to roll over. And you can see we're in a weekly buy. So this, to me, I keep on hearing people saying, this could be the the $3 trillion company join in. In other words, they do these things like the Magnificent Seven, and they have all like the Microsoft and Amazon and Google and NVDA and was it Apple and Amazon. They and I'm trying to think who else was in there. Tesla, the Magnificent Seven, and then it starts to break off. People take profits. If you don't take profits when you're making money, then the next time you're selling your product is when you're losing it. So, I can still, it seems like there's some buying there. And let's see, let's just take a look at the MVDA on here. I got to delete it and reopen it so it has the, maybe I should do that right now. Let's see, where's it at? Let's close this and then reload. Well, I'll do it today so that tomorrow you can see the NVDA all cleaned up. Right now the daily is more functional than the weekly. Let's go to it right here. Right there it is, right there. And NVDA, you can see it's down a little bit today at 122.87. It's the third day in a sell. It's very tight, and the weekly is trying to turn up. Matter of fact, I think it closed in a weekly last week, and so I probably need to delete this and then delete the symbol, and then add it again, and it'll come in with the correct data. And I just haven't gotten around to it. But now that I have my beta, I always kind of lean into the beta. Being the beta, I trust the beta, and the weekly is trying to, as you saw on, is that it right there? Where's the beta at? Let's just go back to it again. Products. It's trying to get into the weekly sell after like 10 weeks in a buy. So we'll clean the one up on the other platform, and it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Okay, that's pretty much it for answering the two there. Let's go over to the euro as I showed you before. The euros. Let's take a look at the dollar index real quick. See what the dollar index is in a buy, but it's not exactly a screaming type of action. We're at the top end of its range. I don't really believe we're going to see much more than that. You can see it's trapped in here for a while now. Weekly buy, and we're raising rates over here, I guess. I'm not sure why you see the 30-year lifting the way it is, but it has been. Mr. Powell speaks, as I said, in no more than in 16 minutes in Spain, so in Europe. So he's going to bring some goodies to Europe. If he's going to go there, he might as well bring goodies. Free money for this person and that person and so forth. All right, from there we go back to the currencies unless someone wants to see something. And as you can see here, again, cable and euro for some reason don't seem to care, which is kind of interesting. So I'm not sure what he's going to say, but that usually means that they know what he's going to say already. And there's both cable and euro. And we saw the Swiss doing that. So let's go check out the yen. Wow. It just keeps on finding ways to make higher highs. Going towards that 40-year high type of thing. Daily buy for about 15, 16 days. Weekly buy now for 25. 5 weeks now. They are really trapped. They've really buried themselves. It's going to be interesting to see how, when the elections come around, we'll see if the LDP finally loses its power after all these decades and centuries, and so half a century, because that's what the problem is that they've just become so entrenched that they're more concerned about getting elected than they are about governing. Going for a sip of water. Ah, okay. Amar, how you doing? How do I get wire card in Algeria? Well, I'd imagine you need, you have to talk to somebody. How do I get the virtual card remotely? You have to talk to somebody inside Dukascopy. Giannis will probably tell you to text or email your broker, and you can see the website right there. I have it up on the left side right here. See it right there. So you can just go over to Dukascopy Swiss Bank and find out. And they'll probably be able to give you more information than I can. All right. Yeah, just shoot over to the website and contact your broker or your representative, whatever they call it. All right, from there we go to the Turkish lira. There is the Turkish lira. It's kind of trapped and quiet. And we want it to stay that way now for the next couple of years. Right there. And it's flirting with the weekly sell again today. So might as well put the little round circle in there for that. Here's Giannis. See that? There we go. Giannis kicked right in. Good job, Giannis. Thank you. Good question. Where's NVDA heading today? Let's go take a look at it. I'd say sideways down. That's what I would think. Yeah, sideways down, I would think. There's not much room for it to go too far down. I mean, they can't hate this thing that much. You gotta imagine. What are we now? We're $20 off the, or, almost $20 off the all-time high, right? I would think there's more buyers than sellers out there trying, and that's why the weekly is trying to turn up. The fact that our beta is actually projecting the weekly, pushing its way into the weekly sell right there, says a lot. But again, this is the daily, and to me, they're just going to hesitate in this area. I can see them now just trying. Would they challenge this low here? I doubt that they would break. What would that be? That'd be like 110. Is that something like that? Which is really cool. So we can go like this now with it. Make it wider, so you can see there. That's 112 area. See that right there? You move things up and down in it. It's pretty cool. And I can go like that, grab it, and pull it back over again. We're going to add more days to it. It's going to be even more upgraded, and you have power to change the colors of everything very soon. I registered an account yesterday, and it was accepted when I... And so what did Giannis says is go to the page he has on the side view. See this page right here? It says Dukascopy. Go to this page right there on the left and get in contact with the account supports. How's that? Where's he at? Amir? Yeah, just head that way. Go into the Dukascopy. Let's see if I can do this for you. See that right there? I'm highlighting it up top there. See that up there? Just go to that part and you'll just follow the instructions. All right, now, so NVDA, where will it be today? It looks like to me that it's just going to go sideways down a little bit, but sideways more than anything else. Will it break this range? In other words, will it break this high? Will it break this low? No. I think it'll just hang out in this area here for a little while. It's going to take some real push to sell. Get some sellers into this stuff because there's so many that want to be involved in it. And right now, it's literally 40 or 50% underneath the targets now of what companies are suggesting. So it's going to be a very tough sell. Every time you sell it, it's going to find ways to go up. I hope that helps you, Giannis. I mean, we could take a look at an intraday. That's always fun. What else we got going on here? So from there we go over to, we just got done looking at the Turkish lira. There's the Turkish lira playing with its weekly sell and daily. So the next action here would be South African rand, which is really surprising me. Look at the way it's popping back up again. I guess, like I said, they're excited that the unity government's there. But they want to see action. They don't want to hear words, And so that's, where we're at. So as long as they need to start passing some good legislation and straightening some stuff out. And once they do that, I would think that the currency will gain against the dollar. But right now, it's still waiting for the real action. And that is seeing the parliament start passing some laws that will help out what's been going bad now for the last 15, 20 years. So, and that's what we're seeing here with South African rand today, which you would assume would put pressure on gold. So let's take a look at the gold. And there is the South African rand right there. And look at that pop they're giving to it. And that's why I'm surprised. I understand the politics thing. Basically, they need to see some. Now that they're excited and they're happy, they rallied the product. Because when this thing is going down, it means it's gaining against the dollar. So they rallied the product very well. Celebrating the victory. Now they want to see them actually do something. It's you can't just live off of platitudes. In other words, saying good things and not doing anything about it. So let's take a look at gold. I saw gold this morning flirting with a sell. There's right there. Yep, still just a little, nothing major. And that's probably because of the weakness in the South African rand. And we'll see how that plays out by the end of the day. So many times the thing changes directions after the rand has kind of settled. And when it comes to the silver's being the same way. I'm sorry, no, it's not. It's up. That and copper is both fighting to be up. But you can see here it's in a weekly sell and a daily buy. So they want to see real action. Go over to copper. Right there. Copper's doing the same thing and buy for a third day, and it's 6 weeks now in a sell. So we're going through this situation where they can't pick a direction as much as they're just trying to hold on for dear life, I'd say. China keeps on coming up with more problems. And there doesn't seem to be any remedy for it, and that's the problem right there alone. Is that if you want to be a leading economic powerhouse, you can't play the colony card. If it wasn't for America, they would be nothing. Unfortunately, we were hoping that China was going to grow, and it really looked like they were. But then the communists got so excited with all the money I don't know. They now think they want to be total communists. It's like, what? That's not what was growing you. Capitalism was growing you, and there's not much that I mean, when American economy is not doing well, China is really falling apart, and that's the problem. Is that it should be, in other words, money invested itself there, thinking it was an alternative, and now they're finding it's almost like a little colony of ours. And so when we're doing bad, it's doing worse. And the objective many a time, for finance is that they're hoping that they can have competitors, not countries that are locked in step. So in other words, this way it's like a pairs trade. You can buy America, sell China, or buy China and sell America, and feel like you can distribute your risk. But everybody's learning that instead it's all falling apart. Let's see, where's it at? Let's say right there. See if that's still functioning. Let's take a look at the trying to go through the symbols for our new website. And you can see here, here's the I'm going to send you over here. This is the Shanghai index. You see it's been lifting for the last couple of days, showing some strength, but it's we fell all the way down from 3150 down to basically 29, under 2950, 2940. Now they're trying to lift it the last couple of days, which is good, but we're not getting the strength that we were hoping that we would see, and that's pretty much the name of the game there. Let's see what Brent. Let's go over to the energy sector. Oh, let me just do one more. That's the platinum right here. There's platinum. Platinum's trying to lift up. They've knocked platinum down for a couple of days now, and you see some strength starting to come in, but we're still in that weekly sell. So the metals are kind of trying to tell us that there's no clean, clear direction at this point. Metals are trying to tell us that they're waiting for more news or more information, and at the same time, it's an election coming around the corner. We're in July now. You got July, August, and September, and October. We're heading for 4 solid months now away from the election. What is that? 120 days. Now there's, you can see that, that's the Shanghai, how it, is trying to lift up. But let's go to the energies now and check out Brent. Right there's Brent. And you see Brent lifting up towards the, the 88 area now. And it's been in a weekly buy for 4 solid weeks. And you can see crude oil, same situation, in a buy for 4 weeks. You got 5 days now in a daily buy. There's some real strength out there in that sector. Natural gas, same situation, in the opposite direction basically. Same situation as it's trending down, whereas the others are trending up. And you can see here, we've gone in and out of buys and sells now. So the next stop will be, the energy company down in Spain, which was trying to lift up. There it is. And there's a Spanish energy company. And it's kind of trapped down at this lower end of the range. I would think that this in particular is following the politics even more, because with Mr. Trump coming back into office, that's going to really, really help out Europe when it comes to energy costs. Let's see, what else do we got? What else do we got here? So that is the view of the energy and the metals complex. And interest rates rising is not usually a bullish thing, but you see silver and copper kind of hanging tight, platinum trying to be bought, and at the same time you have gold just a little bit down. I just don't see, I really don't see, it's the summer. It's an election year. There's not a lot of expedience needed at the moment, in the marketplace. I would say something like an MVDA is being bought every time it goes down in value. People want to get into that. They don't want to get out of it. There's some profit taking, I'm sure, that's going on, but overall, they want to be long more than short. Anyhow, all right. So from there, anybody want to see anything but ticket, or if not, we'll just drift our way over to some of the world indices. And someone said something. I think someone said to me something about VIX. Here's the VIX. It's just cruising along, not having much of an issue, but it's finding more ways to go down than up. But overall, we're not going to see a lot of action until there's some real events occurring. The speculation is already in the market. Same thing for the stocks. The stock market is more firm, I would say, because of the fact that they see Trump winning. I understand that he's talking about doing a 50% payroll tax cut for businesses and people. That'll add more money to people's pockets. It's like a tax cut. Do it for just a short period of time. Like 6 months or something like that, or a year. And I heard, what else did I hear? They were going to do something else. Art Laffer has a strategy all talked about that he wants Trump to try. See, what are your thoughts on the? Yeah, the yen. When it got past the 152, let's go back to that. When the yen got past the 152, it was a real sign of issues. Now. And then they ran it up into the 60s. It was this. We put a little square. Let's put that up on the screen. So right there, you can see this little square box we had. It climbed back up to that 152 area, and then it just ripped right into the 160s, which was something like a 40-year high or 38-year. I think it was a 38-year high. And then they backed off, and it looked like they were going to go after the 52 again, and it failed totally. I think it's got more to do with the LDP party itself. The Liberal Democrat Party is got a lot of issues. They've been doing a lot of things that people are very upset with, and they've lost many ministers. And over the weekend, they lost a minister that's in charge of the currency. So every time you turn around, they've got political issues going on over there with bribery and money laundering and all kinds of classic old-fashioned stuff. So the yen is going through a real dilemma. They've changed the Bank of Japan. It started with removing the Bank of Japan president, and then they dropped 5 ministers like 6 months later, and they did all these apologies. I was afraid they were going to start doing Harry Carry, for all the stuff that they got caught at doing, money wise. They were raising money, fundraising. And then they were taking the money, and instead of running them on campaigns, they were just giving them to the members of parliament. Or the diet, whatever they call that. And so they were like sharing in contributions. And it's just making a lot of problems with that. Then another minister or two disappeared, and then over the weekend, over bribery and all this other stuff, and I'm talking about major ministers in charge of departments. And so now this weekend they got rid of that last minister. So they've got real problems over there. Until they straighten that out, I don't see any help for that at all. Just keeps going on higher and higher. I know. Yeah, well, they've got to clean the mess up. Tesla just popped above 218. Did it just this moment? Because that was down a few seconds, about 10 minutes ago when we looked at it. Let's see. Let's go like this. Let's go like this right here. Here's Tesla. Back and filling. Okay, yeah, look at that. Well, Tesla and Amazon seem to be the place to be anymore. And then let's see if do I have Amazon on this? No. Let's put Amazon in there. There's Avgo, whatever Avgo is. $116 a share. And then the option, here's the option on, remember yesterday when we showed you that the pre-market had this pushing down a little bit. As soon as they opened the market, it lifted right up. And this is the option stock. So you buy this, you're like writing calls, something like that. Deliveries data came in. Ah, yeah. Supposedly they thought that they would do pretty well with that. Yeah, that's where we stand at this point. Now, I would imagine, that it is, it's a combination. A lot of people really think of the Tesla as the future cab company. In other words, they believe that there'll be self-driving cars. You won't, maybe they'll put a little robot that makes it look like you're talking to somebody. And but I mean, overall, there won't be any driver. It'll be all robotic. And that's why they reach for Tesla. Now, there's always been talk that if you own some Tesla stock, you had a chance at getting a hold of his X-Space company. But that's kind of far-fetched, but because that's a private company, isn't it? I understand he's done some exploratory selling, in other words, where they do some private placements. So overall, though, it's the whole process at this point is Tesla is a robotic company of cars. That's really what it is, electric cars in particular. Now, we looked at this yesterday when we looked at the Tesla. That 18 area was really important. Oh, no, that's the stock option stock. Here it is. So let's just take a look at the 18 area again. I think it's like where it is, right there. It was in this area, the 18 area, back in February, late January, after falling from 70 down to basically 20. So there, that yellow line's pretty much the 18 area, and so that's where you can see it here. It's traded up to it. If it breaks out of there, they're going to be panicked and they'll start covering shorts, and it'll be that type of action. We're in daily buys and weekly buys, so it's making all the sense in the world to us. All right. Let's see, where are we at now? So, let's take a look at if they have it published, because I haven't seen it on the tape yet. But I know that they were waiting for that. There we are. I don't see anything yet, but I know it must be out there. I know that there was talk that that was coming. All right. Where were we at? We were looking at Japan, and I guess that's a. What can we say about Tesla? More than it's challenging the 118 area now, and that makes sense. I mean, that was where it tried to bottom, and then they crushed it back in January. So here, I was just thinking, geez, can you imagine? Here we are. We're only halfway through the year. If this thing gets back up into the 260s, 250s, 260s, people are going to be like, really. I heard some really, as it was dropping, they were like, oh, finally, Tesla's going to finally, fall apart the way it should. It's this is the age of technology, and it is a technology company, so it's very, very hard to sell technology down. We can say this about today. Today has the Dow Jones Industrial Average down 106, and the NASDAQ, or the Tech 100, is down 84, where normally when one is down, the other one is up. And at the same time, the S&P 500 is down almost 20 points. So normally we see this like trading of the market, almost like they're spreading between them. But today they seem to be all marching in the same direction. Just heard the headline that the vice president is upset that no one's suggesting that she take over for the president. Well, maybe she will. All right, from there we shoot over to, let's see, what have we done? We can check out some of the global stock indices and get a flavor of what's been going on over there. Let's take a look at Taiwan. Oh, here's the Kospi. And let's put it up on the screen here. And so there's the Kospi. And you can see that it's holding that high end of the range. And it's in a weekly buy. Strength in the Pacific, South Pacific, I guess it's the Northern Pacific at this point, is looking pretty good. Even the Hang Seng is up a couple days in a row here now. Also, let's take a look at Taiwan. Where's Taiwan again? Taiwan, right there. There's Taiwan. And Taiwan doing the same thing. Is that right? Let's just give this a refresh. Taiwan. I just saw Taiwan. How did we lose it? Right there. There it is. Now Taiwan's not updating. I'm not sure what. Oh, there it is. Okay, so Taiwan is up at the highs, and at the same time, the Philippines, which have been feeling the pain and seems to be taking the punishment from the Chinese, has started to lift. You see, it's still in a weekly sell now for 10 weeks, but it's been taking the brunt of China's aggression. Then from there we shoot over to the Hang Seng right there. Hang Seng, trying to lift. It's getting very close to a weekly buy. See how they play this week out. And you can see it's down in the lows. It didn't fall as much as the Shanghai, but it definitely is feeling the same pain. That's for sure. I saw an advertisement talked about the idea of China's new influence on Hong Kong. It said new. I'm thinking to myself, what are they talking about? It's been since the 90s. They've been controlling it on some level. There is the Singapore Straits Times jumping over its 6-month high, and at the same time you can see it's been in a weekly buy, or it's fighting to go into the weekly buy as we speak. And then from there we go over to Where do we go over to from there? We go over to 2222. Let's look at the Nifty 50. There's the Nifty 50 right there. And it's also still a little off today, but not by much. And it's at all-time highs. You know, a week plus in the buy, 4 weeks in a weekly buy. So they're not exactly running away from that product whatsoever. And then obviously the all ordinaries index. It's kind of sideways down for the last couple days. Let's take a look at the SOX 50 or 500. Oh no, you know what? Let's check out. Let's go as we're heading in that direction. Let's check out the energy company in Saudi Arabia. There it is, right there. That's the Aramco and Saudi Aramco, and it's off its highs. They've done another private placement or something like that for $100 billion, and it's going to keep it down for a while. It's liquefied. No doubt we've seen how the energy companies are doing. We saw crude oil. I guess it's like a 4 week high. Let's take a look at that again. Same thing with Brent. Yeah, I mean it's taken out more than just 4 weeks. It's like 8-9 weeks. Look at the way the weekly is ripping on that thing. Harris is in spotlight as concerns rise over Biden. Let's see. Now we can go to the DAX. There's the DAX. DAX has been in sell for 4 weeks, and you can see it's being sold off a little bit here today. That's probably because we sent Powell over there to drive you all crazy. I mean, drives us crazy every day. Then we'll take a look at the SOX, or Stokes, is it? Right there, Stokes. Stoke is also feeling the same thing. They're pushing down European stocks generally, and it's 4 weeks in a sell. And then the CAC 40, I'd imagine would be firm. I mean, you would think that a capitalist government is a positive thing. Excuse me. But just looking at that, they just popped it one day and it didn't even survive. And you see there, it's 5 weeks now in a sell. And then, let's go do this one. Let's see. Let's check out the FTSE. I saw a headline where they were saying the FTSE, they're doing more betting by parliamentary members than ever before. There it is. And there's the FTSE doing the same thing, showing the weakness of 4 weeks. 6 days now in daily sells, and it's come down. Yep, and that's the FTSE. So Europe is feeling feeling the same selling we're seeing. All right, now from there we can go take a peek at the U.S. markets. Why don't we just get rid of that and just push it right over to here? We'll take a look at them live. Again, we're not really. Let's just show you the intraday. That's not it. There's the intraday. I mean, it's off its lows of 5,005. You see, I made that low, and that's the low we saw a couple days ago. they went after it and are bouncing off of it. Hit it twice. Played with the 505 area. So we'll watch and see if it can get some legs. I kind of doubt it. It just seems to me like it should be sideways. Unless Powell says something, ignites some type of idea. They keep on over and over. Now I still hear people talking about September cuts. Now, good, responsible economists that I've been watching for decades, and I trust, say no way in the world should they even dare cut interest rates. But they're getting nervous because of the. Remember, we talked about this last week and the week before. It's the labor numbers. They've started laying the groundwork to try to convince us that the labor numbers all of a sudden are no good. And so that's what's playing on the market right now. Is they're saying, if this thing goes past 4%, we better lower interest rates. They'll try anything to get some interest rates down so that they can get the voters feeling a little bit better. I mean, that's the real, what they say, the October surprise is lowering rates. There's the S&P 500. Here's the S&P 500 on a daily chart. Right there. And you can see there, it's pressing down. And then at the same time, you can see the Tech 100 right there trying to press down also as we speak. It's got a red and a green, and it's been in a buy. I guess it's 4 days, right there. It just missed going into the sell there. Had the red dot. And we'll see if they roll over. But remember, this index is made up of Microsoft and Amazon and Tesla and Google and NVDA. It's got an Apple. It's got all these strong companies that people don't want to sell. They want to hold on to. So it makes it very hard for these products to go down in value. Then last but not least, we'll take a look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Here it is. Giannis says Tesla Inc. The second quarter we produced approximately 411,000 vehicles, delivered approximately 444,000 vehicles. Q2 Model 3 year over production 386,500 versus. They delivered 422,000. So, let's see, other models, production units. Yeah, so they're getting them out the door. That's for sure. It's the number one electric car company. Everybody likes it. They believe in it, and it all comes down to the self-driving side of it more than anything else. It's something. Okay. Okay. So, from there, I guess what we'll do now is we'll come up with a title more than anything else. So what should be the title today? We talked about the same things we've talked about before, Tesla and, yen. Yen is just, there's not much you can say about the yen at this point. I mean, it's really looking very tough for the yen. They have to, it's going to be politics. It's going to be an election that can dig them out of this hole at this point. That's what it comes down to. It'll take an election. All right, so today's title shall be, there we are, and that pops up, and the title will be Powell speaks in Europe, maybe? I don't know. I think that's pretty good. So it's like, watch out, Europe. Powell is speaking. There we go. And who knows what he will say that will drive us all crazy in the end. All right, traders, it's a quiet summer day, but it's always good to keep our eyes on all the action. So, happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends at Ducascapi, no less. So, traders, catch you all tomorrow, same time. It'll be Wednesday. And then remember, United States has a holiday on Thursday. I'll be here. I'll do my webinar. I have no problem doing that. So, we will catch you all tomorrow, same time, same channel. So, arrivederci.